1-0 Blue Jays on Husker Night, and one of the greatest Huskers of all time. One of the most well-rounded athletes of all time, Darin Erstad. All-American baseball player, national champion punter. And look at him all decked out in Royal stuff tonight, Hud.
He's a world champ. When I saw him, I walked in, I saw him in his group inside the lobby, Gate C. And I said, Stad, where's the red? It's your day. And he goes, I'm at a Royals game. And I go, well, let me see who's on the back. Alex Gordon. Now you tell me what big leaguer that's a world champion, that's accomplished, has been out of the game like you, wears another player's jersey into the house. Rhino, you got to be impressed with that.
I never saw that before, but I'm impressed. Was he like this in Anaheim too, by the way?
Yes, pretty much exactly the same thing. Yes.
Let's talk to Ersty. Ersty, tell us how the program's going out there in Nebraska.
You know, we've made regionals the last 3 years, and we're making progress, but there's a lot more work we have to do, and we're to that point now where getting there is not good enough. We want to take that next step, get to Supers and back to the College World Series, but yeah, it's heading in the right direction.
Darin, there are very few great players that make the transition to coaching, and I've heard from some of those players over the years that they begin to realize how easy certain things came, and it's hard to coach that. You had a great major league career. Hud mentioned world champion. What's the transition been like for you, going from Gold Glove all-star major league player to college baseball coach?
Well, I've heard that a lot. You're not gonna be able to relate to the college kid, or you can't understand what they're going through. Well, I just remind myself very quickly that I rolled over a lot of times in my career, and I had some really bad years. So I've had both sides of it. I understand the dynamics that go into it when you're struggling, and just being able to share those thoughts, and just understanding what it's like and how hard this game really is when you're out there every day, and just keeping that realization. That's why I walked out backwards out of the locker room for the last time at Citi Field, just so I didn't get that forget serum in my butt, and just remember and always remember how hard this game can be.
Right. Lorenzo Cain makes a play in right field. We mentioned world champion in 2002. You not only got to be a world champion, but the select few to have the ball land in your glove for the final out.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drop that.
Was your heart pounding when the ball was hit to you?
Honestly, no. It's so true. But I'll never forget it. Ball's coming down, and the little voice in my head was my dad saying, "Use two hands," and I did. And when I caught it, I snapped out of it. And Alex Ochoa was like right next to me. And I remember running in just going, oh, I'm so glad I didn't drop that. And I tried to give it to Percy under the pile, and he said keep it. And I tried to give it to the Angels. They said keep it. So I kept it.
Nice. Ersty, we just showed that homer. That was in Game 6. I'll never forget it. One of the most exciting baseball games I've ever seen, of course, until some of the last two postseasons here in Kansas City. Ersty, the homegrown team that you guys were on in 02 that you won was all homegrown. Molina, you had Salmon, you had Gloss, you had all these guys yourself that were all originally from the team that was drafted by a team, and the Royals did the same thing. They're all homegrown guys. What's the correlation there?
Well, we sat up here a couple years ago and talked about that, and nice catch. Sure enough, just that core and sticking through the tough times and sticking with each other just builds that bond. And when you've gone through a lot of tough times, you're able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and fight for each other, and it works out. Beautiful.
Can you stick around another half inning?
Sure.
Chatting with Darin Erstad, 1-0 Toronto.